Hey, welcome back to another episode on our new series, Pro Tips to Live a Dynamic Lifestyle. If you're new to this show, you definitely want to stay for this because we're dropping them every single day and we're giving you guys tips from literally experts and legit pro tips on how to live a dynamic lifestyle, especially in this pandemic and new circumstances and landscape that we're facing. So if you're interested, make sure to subscribe below. Other than that, get ready for this next one.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode on our Pro Tips series on how to live a dynamic lifestyle through this pandemic. And we have the awesome Scott Herman with us. Scott, how you doing today?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm doing great. Finally here. It's only been like a month.
I know, man. We've been trying to coordinate this, make this happen, but honestly, we know you're busy. I know you showed us your beautiful home, like the pool and everything. So we're just grateful to have you on.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, guys. It's been an interesting last few months with everything that's happening in the world, but I'm trying to do my part and keep people healthy and motivated.
Yeah. Exactly. So let's dive into that. So first, how are you doing with this personally? And I know you have your wife and your stepdaughter, and then more importantly too, like what is some good tips you can give to the listeners that might be really struggling through all of this, and how can they reinvent themselves during these times?
So, one of the most difficult things about having to stay home all the time is you really got to figure out a schedule, right? So I've been working from home, for about 10 years now. And before I moved to Florida, I actually had a separate studio that I would go to film my videos and do my workouts. And that at least got me out of the house. But now that I live in Florida, I actually have my gym and my whole recording studio built into my house. And so my only time to leave the house was going to the LA Fitness down the street or to the grocery store or, out with the wife and the daughter. But you can't do that obviously right now. Right. So that was that was my escape to kind of have some sanity in my life. And what I've quickly realized is when you're stuck home 100% of the time, you really have to block things out. Because if you don't block out your time, like family time, work time, rest time, relaxation time, it all starts to kind of meld together. And then before you know it, it's 9 o'clock and you didn't do anything all day. Yeah. And that happens to a lot of people. And I feel like that's where depression really, stems from, is just day in and day out of just feeling like nothing's happening and nothing's moving, and then being stuck at home. You can't go out. You can't kind of feed off of other people and build your energy up. So you really got to sit down and kind of just block out all your surroundings and just think about what do you want to accomplish each day, each week, and start to put pen to paper. I don't even like doing stuff like that on my phone, because then I'm still on my phone, and then I gotta still have to go on my phone to see my list. Get a piece of paper and literally write down things so that you can see that in front of you every single day.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I'm a big advocate of using those yellow notepads, just having a couple of them around the apartment, and just if I'm in that room, I get an idea, boom, I write that down, do my to-do list, all that stuff. So that's great. So what would you say maybe some of the best, maybe worst investments people can be making right now, under this pandemic?
Oh my gosh. Well, definitely don't want to invest in airlines after what's-his-face just sold off all of his shares.
Yeah, I saw that.
Everything's tanking. I was actually looking online at cruise lines, and I'm like, man, these guys are Royal Caribbean. Their stock price dropped quite a bit. So I'm like, I'm going to buy some of that. I'm going to see once people start traveling again, I'm going to be able to boost that stock up and make some money there. It would have been really nice to invest in some home fitness equipment, right, before all this went down. A lot of my clients were actually getting pissed because you can't find the Bowflex adjustable dumbbells on their website, but you can find them on Amazon for triple the price. Mm-hmm. And me and one of my clients, James, were talking about this, and we're like, Bowflex probably just took all their stock and then is selling it on Amazon for triple the price right now. Right?
Yeah.
But home delivery meal services are doing really well right now. I know one of the companies that I work with, Icon Meals, they actually get their food before Sam's Club and BJ's and the grocery stores. So companies like that are doing really great. And
yeah. Shout out to Todd Abrams. He's awesome.
Oh yeah. Well, what's good too is they're keeping their prices the same, and they're just building a bigger clientele that way. But yeah, I mean, basically any service industry pretty much took a little bit of a dive. They will recover, so look into those in terms of investing. But like online, everything is going through the roof. Even like online training, all my online programs are doing better. You know, my 12-week at home program on my website is killing it because people want to train at home.
Right.
And it's funny because I would release workouts on YouTube, you know, before this whole thing that were home based, or, you know, I don't like to get too creative with exercises because I think it gets like a little ridiculous, but you know, I put some creative home workouts together, and you know, the attitude back then was like, this is stupid. You can't build muscle doing this. You can't burn calories doing this. And I'm like, and these obviously are people who didn't even try the workout, obviously. But now with the pandemic, they're like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is the best workout I ever did. Wow, these exercises are so great. I'm like, you guys are just douchebags. And I say that to myself. I'm like, yeah, you weren't saying that a month ago.
Yeah. And would you say, Scott, that like right now, like just say for like maybe somebody's an inspiring online coach or, you know, a fitness professional, is right now a good time to double down on content creation for YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, across the board, you know, like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, double down on your content creation, get it out there as fast as you can. And that's what I'm doing too. You know, like all my videos I'm putting on YouTube right now that are home workouts. I'm then taking them and I'm cutting them up and I'm putting them on my Instagram. And trying to do the same thing for TikTok, but TikTok's a little different. I actually try to reshoot the workouts for TikTok to make a little more sense because it's a vertical platform. But yeah, try to work smart, not hard, right? Like try to film things in such a way where you can take that same footage and then reuse it for different platforms.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I want to shift gears here, man. So let's say like with all the experience that you have, like all the success you've had, and let's say the pandemic completely wiped you out, just hypothetically. And my hope is for whoever's listening to this can get some motivation, some tips, you know, from your experience. What would you do to kind of build back like the brand of like Scott Herman Fitness?
You know, and I feel like that's an interesting question because, you know, I've had a few ideas that I've kind of let sit, you know, for a while, just like ideas for, you know, building my business in different ways. And so because of the pandemic, I've actually been able to finally focus on one that I've been wanting to do for a couple of years. And it's creating a routine creator within my Muscular Strength app, where you can basically go in and push like 2 or 3 buttons, and then it spits out a new routine for you to do every single time you push the button. So it's a routine generator. So, you know, you gotta, at anything in life, not even just business, like, you know, when you're a kid and your boyfriend or girlfriend breaks up with you and you think the world's going to end, you know, if you think that way, then you're going to be miserable. But if you think in terms of, well, that happened for a reason, there's probably someone better out there, you know, then you end up finding someone better. Same thing in business. You know, if your business tanks because of the pandemic, that's an opportunity for you to try to see why it tanked and then kind of, you know, fill in those holes, right? Like those are obviously flaws in your business that could happen at any time. So what can you do to prepare for that so it doesn't happen again? Or, you know, what can you do to take your business to the next level? So if a pandemic does happen again, you're not reliant only on, you know, in person. I guess, you know, most people who lost business was because they had like a brick and mortar type business, right? What can you do to avoid that? What can you do to be ready, you know, for at home? And then a lot of companies now, you know, they're basically saying, or they're basically coming up with these solutions where even once the pandemic is over, they've built out this whole new stream of revenue that deals directly with in-home, right?
Are you a fitness professional looking to create more income, impact, influence, and independence? If so, we actually just dropped our new book, Rise of the Fit Pros, so you guys can be on your way to doing all those things, and you can sit there and build your hyper training model. So if you're interested in getting your copy, make sure to click the book or the link right here, and you guys can grab it. Other than that, make sure to enjoy the rest of the show.
So you got to look at everything from a positive point of view. You can't just be like, oh, woe is me. Because if that's the case, you're going to just die. You know, you're going to be destroyed. Your business is going to end, and then you're going to be very sad and upset. But if you get upset, but then turn that anger into, you know, a positive work mindset, you'll overcome it.
Absolutely. 100% agree on that. And then has there been like any aha moments just during this pandemic for you, like just light bulb things where maybe you did push back because you were really consumed in what you were doing, you were busy, and now all of a sudden you have more time for that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the routine creator because like, even with YouTube, everyone on YouTube right now is making less money because the CPMs are super low, the ad buys are super low. And I don't rely 100% on YouTube anyways for my income because I have my online coaching and my website and my app and these other things. But it just made me think even more like go screw yourself, YouTube. I'm so sick and tired of them constantly messing with their algorithm, constantly, shuffling things around, constantly. I mean, even not that it has anything to do with me, but like YouTube and Facebook taking down videos explaining, the coronavirus and all that stuff, man. Like that pisses me off. And I don't want to have to rely on someone else's platform in order to feed my family. Right? It's like YouTube is great, but what if YouTube's gone tomorrow? Yep. What are you gonna do? You're done. You're screwed.
Exactly.
All these people, they don't have their own websites. A lot of these guys, like they like a lot of content creators that put out like 4 or 5 videos a week. That's because that's all they're doing, and that's stressful, to be honest. Like having to create content all the time is super stressful.
Yeah.
And for the last like year or so, I feel like I've had this internal battle in my head, and I'm like, why am I killing myself putting out videos on YouTube? Where at the end of the day, YouTube is only going to massively share those videos if I start paying for them to do that, just like Facebook. Back in the day, I would post a photo or a video on Facebook and I'd get like 5, 6 to 7,000 likes, shitloads of shares and everything. And then all of a sudden they went from like that to like maybe 300 to 400 with like 500,000 people on the page.
Pay to play.
Yeah, pay to play, and YouTube's the same way. I got 2.3 million subscribers, and I'll message them and be like, hey, I don't think all my subscribers are getting notified because they, I'll get emails like, hey, I haven't seen your videos in a month. What's going on? Did you quit YouTube? And they're like, oh, just make sure they have that notification bell clicked, and go screw yourself because we don't give a F about you or your family or your livelihood, and then it's like, or like they'll take down a video or they'll say a video is demonetized for X, Y, or Z, or someone posted a claim. Like my wife and we've been dealing with a cyber stalker. My wife has a YouTube channel too, and she has a cyber stalker, and like, this chick and this other dude were able to get copyright claims on one of her videos and get one of her videos taken down, even though it had nothing to do with them. It didn't even have any copyright. Like it was like a no reason for this video to be taken down. But then those same people will make a video about my wife and say that I, say all kinds of nasty things about her. They say that like, there's a transgender escort that I'm hooking up with in California. Like, and they make up all these lies and stuff, but that video doesn't get taken down, nor do they get a copyright strike. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like YouTube is great. It's a good platform, but you need to have your own thing. You need to have your own website. You need to always be making sure that if shit hits the fan tomorrow, the way like it's hitting now, you're going to be okay.
Yeah. And that's just kind of like the analogy that we teach to our fitness students is just Fit Pro students is like, that's all rented land. All the social media platforms are great, but it's like, you don't own that land and it could be taken down at any point. So always better to build your own streams of income and stuff. But just kind of wrap this up, Scott, I've been asking all the guests as well too, this question.
Sorry, I ramble quite a bit.
No worries, man. I've been asking this question. What do you think like the big message from the universe is for humanity, for society, as to why this pandemic actually hit us?
I think that people in general are getting way too comfortable arguing over really stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what side of the coin you're on, in the country, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Liberal, whatever. People are just arguing over really stupid things. And like, if you notice, like, there's a lot of people talking right now, like Antifa's gone. Is there more than one gender's gone? Black Lives Matter's gone. Like all these organizations that claim to, try to speak the truth and build unity, but actually spread hate and violence. They're all kind of out the window.
Yeah.
And people are focusing on like actual things that matter, like their families and their safety. I mean, even in California, it was really funny to see a lot of Californians like being super pissed they couldn't buy a gun and get it the same day. And it's like, this is the shit that you guys said that you wanted. These are the laws you wanted.
Yeah.
And now you're pissed that the law is not working in your favor.
Yep.
And it's like people starting to realize a lot of what they see on the news, especially in America. And I think it has a lot to do with what we see in America. Because like if you watch the news in other countries, like my wife's Brazilian, and so she always tells me like in Brazil, what's happening all over the world because the news reports all over the world. In America, you just see news that's going to push an agenda of, XYZ politician.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's how it is in here. So I feel like people were already getting to the point where they're getting sick of, fake news and all these like irrelevant things that are happening. But because of the pandemic, and now people are starting to see like Facebook and YouTube taking down videos that are spreading good information, I think it's getting to a breaking point where like the left and the right are kind of really coming together in the middle, and they're all getting pissed about the same things, and they want it to stop. Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think honestly, man, it just got to the point where it's like, just like anything, we hit like a ceiling or like a bubble, and everything just kind of needed to reset. Like the deck of cards need to be reshuffled for everybody. And now a lot of people are on the same playing level, So once everything goes up, there has to be a tipping point,
Yeah, even just everyone needs to slow down a little bit, There's nothing wrong with slowing down a little bit, and maybe that's just a sign to focus on what really matters in life.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I feel like I come from an interesting point of view because I've done a lot in my life. Sometimes my daughter and I will get into arguments. Like we'll be talking about a subject, and sometimes I'll listen to her, and other times I'll tell her just, shut up and go read a book or go do some research online. She's like, how come you only value my opinion on some things and you don't value it on other things? I'm like, because you have an experience of life. So if we're talking about a topic that you have zero experience in, I don't need to hear your opinion, and that's the mindset of these kids in their 20s. They're talking about things they know absolutely nothing about.
Yeah.
And then I do my best. I don't do this all the time, guys. Like I'm not trying to paint myself to be this jerk. I'm a really good stepdad. I do a really good job. But I always try to explain things and try to help her understand like, hey, your opinion's wrong because of this or whatever. But I'm 35 years old, but since basically 24 years old when I went on the real world and I moved to New York, and then I basically just kind of got exposed to this whole new world. I did a lot of traveling and saw a lot of things back and forth to LA. I've driven across the country like 3 times. I've traveled outside the country to a lot of different places. You talk to people from all walks of life, from all ends of the spectrum. And it's like you see people argue and banter over things, and you're just like, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
As long as people are good people, you should be able to get along. It doesn't matter what color they are, if they're gay, if they're straight, if they're trans, if they're fat, if they're skinny. It doesn't matter. Like I get along with everyone. Actually, my wife and daughter, when we moved to Florida, like a month went by, and I'm leaving the house to go to the gym. She goes, "You going to the gym?" Like, yeah, me, Kevin, John, and whatever are going to go to the gym and work out. It's like, how do you already have 3 friends? We just moved here a week ago. I'm like, I just talk to people. I'm like, yo, you want to go train chest? Sure. All right, we're friends now. Like, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
No, that's super awesome, man. Honestly, this has been great, honestly. And thank you so much for your time and just your experience, sharing your knowledge, all that stuff. Is there anything that we could do to support you, and where can our listeners connect with you?
Yeah, if you guys are looking for more information on how to work out, or if you're looking for a new workout program, I have at-home and gym muscle building programs. You probably can't use the gym ones right now unless you have a home setup, but you can go to my website, muscularstrength.com. You can download my app. It's the same name. And once you're on that platform, it's only literally $10 a month. It gives you access to 8 different workout programs. I add new follow along workouts every single week, sometimes twice a week, especially now with the pandemic. I have a custom meal planner to help you plan out all your meals. And then the routine creator, which I'm hoping to have up within the next week or so. We've been pushing really hard on that. So muscularstrength.com, but the routine creator is only on the app. So make sure you download both.
Awesome, man. We'll have that all linked up in the show notes. Guys, go follow Scott Herman Fitness. Scott, thank you so much for your time, man. Truly appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I had a blast.
You're welcome. All right, guys, until next time.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video and another episode on pro tips on living a dynamic lifestyle. We truly appreciate it. Hopefully you got a lot of value out of it. If you're interested in getting more value like this from these pro tips, make sure to subscribe above. We're going to be dropping these daily. Also, if you are a fitness professional and you're looking to create more income, impact, influence, and independence, we just dropped our new book, Rise of the Fit Pros, so you guys can do all of that. You can also start building your hybrid training model with in-person and online training. So make sure to click the link or the book right here to grab your guys' copy, and we'll send it over to you. Other than that, we're out. Talk to you soon.